how to get rupees 50,000 rupees a month as your post-retirement cash flow. What is the kind of corpus that you need to create to make sure that you can generate 50,000 rupees month on month? This and lots more are coming up in this video. So stay tuned. Let's understand what are the steps that one needs to have in mind as you start creating this roadmap for creating this 50,000 rupees of cash flow month on month. First step, first one must define their retirement vision. What is the age from which they need this money coming to them? Is it 50? Is it 55? Is it 60? Then they need to determine what is the amount that they need coming to them month on month. Is it 50,000? Is it 75,000? Is it a lakh of rupees or even more? What is that? So this is the first step to defining your retirement vision, and that's the first part of the journey. Next is to estimate the monthly expenses. What is the monthly expenses that you incur for living your life? And this differs from individual to individual. So it's extremely important to therefore determine in today's rate what is the kind of expenses that you keep incurring. Third, money doesn't stay the same way. 5 years down or 10 years down, what is 50,000 today could be a lakh or even more, thanks to inflation. So we must consider the effect of inflation in our planning to generate this cash flow. So today's 50,000 10 years down could be 1 lakh or 1,20,000 of need. So we must be smart to plan. So third is to consider inflation in your calculation. Fourth, in considering the plan, you must also take into account your current savings and current surpluses, your income minus expenditure. Both of these will help you draw the plan that can enable you to reach your goal post. So your current savings could be in the form of bank fixed deposits, mutual funds, equity, whatever be your savings. The surpluses is what you generate on a month-on-month basis, your income minus your expenditure. The surplus is what we will use to kind of power your retirement plan. Also take into account the investments that are specifically earmarked for retirement, especially things like PF and gratuity. If you're working in a company, these are reasonably good numbers that one needs to have in mind and take into account for planning. Otherwise, you could be trying to do a lot more than you actually need to do. So take into account your retirals, as they call it. Choose the investment strategy that works best for you. Now, choosing an investment strategy depends on 3 factors. First factor is your own risk appetite. If you are an aggressive person, then you can take higher risks. If you are a moderate person, then you will take lesser risks on your portfolio. Similarly, the horizon that you have also allows you to take the investment decision. So if you have, say, 15 years or 20 years, you could afford to take a little bit more risk in mutual funds and stock market. If you say have only 5 years or 7 years, then your ability to take risk comes down so much more. So taking into account the kind of time and your risk appetite, you can arrive at the kind of risks and therefore the investment options open to you. If the period is very short, then you may need to do with hybrid funds and debt funds. If the period is long, then you can even go for equity funds and small cap funds, which are high risk but also deliver higher returns. Once this investment gets going, you will need to spend time to check and rebalance the portfolio. So let's say you started out investing 60% in equity and 40% in debt. Then ever so often, at least once a year, if not more, you will need to revisit and make sure that the portfolio gets rebalanced. If there are extraneous events like wars and stuff like that which impact global markets, even that time you will need to go and rebalance your portfolio. So keep an eye on your portfolio and rebalance it at least once a year and on events like wars. Apart from this, you will need to also create an emergency corpus and have a health insurance cover, because post-retirement health cover is a very, very important component. So is an emergency fund of, say, 6 months of expenses that you can keep aside elsewhere. You will need to also arrive at a very good withdrawal strategy, a strategy by which your investment starts paying you back the 50,000 rupees every month that we had planned for. So that also needs to get planned in good order. So these are all the steps that one needs to adopt if one wants to kind of have a very, very good foolproof investment system. But that's not all. We have actually done the homework of calculating a plan for you in terms of how you can generate your cash flows. And we want to kind of share the plan with you. Let's say, and we have taken, for example, two individuals at the age of 30 and 40 who would like to retire at the age of 50. And we have assumed that the life expectancy is about 85 years, which means for the 30-year-old person need to plan his investments for 20 years, but that investment corpus needs to carry him through for 35 years. Whereas for the individual at the age of 40, the planning is only for 10 years that he can do, whereas the investment corpus has to carry him through for 35 years. So if the amount that both choose to be 50,000 rupees every month, then in reality, by the time the 30-year-old person becomes 50 years, thanks to inflation, the amount that he will actually need will be 1,32,000 rupees every month. Similarly, for a person aged 40, the 50,000 at 40, by the time he is 50, will be about 81,000. So it's really this 1,32,000 that this 30-year-old person has to start planning for per month, rather than the 50,000 at that current age. So that's the whole idea. We have assumed similarly a pre-retirement rate of 12%, which is what we see in normal SIPs and returns. And post-retirement, we have said if they generate us 7%, because obviously post-retirement, we want to consider a lot more safer options for individuals. At least from an assumption perspective, that's how we will go about it. And that's the whole idea. Based on these calculations, for the 30-year-old individual, the amount that corpus that he needs by the time he is 50 is about 4 crores. And for the 40-year-old individual, the corpus that will be needed is about 2.5 crores. Now, to achieve that at the rate of 12%, the 30-year-old person can do a 40,000 rupee investment, or the 40-year-old person can do 1,07,000. So as you can see, if you start early, the amount that you need to set aside is much smaller, and therefore you can hit. On the contrary, you can also look at putting aside a lump sum. If the 30-year-old person does not want to do an SIP, he can just put a lump sum of 41 lakhs and he will still make the 50,000 rupees per month from his age of 50 onwards. For the person at 40, he has to put about 80 lakhs as a down investment at the age of 40 if he wants to make sure that 50 years onwards his retirement is comfortable with 50,000 rupees of cash flow. So friends, the point which I'm trying to make is that all of these can be easily calculated and done. What is important is the consistency and discipline that one of these things need to be followed through to make sure that you have the money at the end of the day. Now, before we go, I'd like to give you a very, very simple 5 mistakes that people generally make while planning their retirement, and these are extremely important for you to follow. What are the 5 things that one needs to avoid? So one of the mistakes that we do is we start late. Our advice to you is, if you're somebody in your 25s or 30, start early. Plan well in advance so that the amount that you need to set aside is very, very small. Starting late is the first big mistakes that many of us do. Second, not considering inflation into your planning. Like I said, 50,000 what we see today, 10 years down will need about 1 lakh of rupees considering a 5% inflation. So you will need to consider inflation calculations because retirement planning is a several decade process. And if you don't take inflation into account, there is a good chance that you will fall short on your corpus. Third, It's important to have separate investments for separate needs. So don't combine all your investments together. Have a separate investment for your retirement, have a separate investment focus for your children's education, so on and so forth, and deal with them separately. Fourth, markets will go through their cycles, up and down, wars and stuff like that will impact it. But your goal is long term. So stay invested, keep calm, and continue to invest on a regular basis for you to achieve the goal. Last but not the least, keep an emergency fund separate from your investment so that if there is an emergency need for you, you are not accessing your retirement money, but more your emergency corpus. If you do take care of these 5 steps, my friends, you will make sure that you have a very robust investment plan towards your post-retirement life.